Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. I just returned home. Today was an unusual day. Out of the ordinary, shall we say. Anthony, usually I bring him straight home from school. But today he wanted to go to the park after his after school thing, which he has. Which normally is a no, but he had no homework. So we went. While I was there, I ran into one of the adults. He was wearing a Nets jacket, and I said, "What is this ensemble?" And I mean, it looked brand new. So he says, "It's the Nets," and I said, "And I'm the Ethernet. What does that mean?" So he said, "It's the Brooklyn whatever." Then he asked me if I knew what Barclay was. I said I only just found out about Barclays. Linda had on some VMA half-naked children, and I'm like, oh my god, Linda. And then I did ask him, however, he reminds me of somebody, perhaps a cat reference in the whatever of the name Felix. Felix. And so for underhand and keep, the, I asked he and Sophia, they had ever heard of something called Havana syndrome, but I had never heard of it myself. They had mentioned it on state-run media, which has some FCC interwoven, whatever. So they referenced it first to put a label on something that I myself, they mentioned a U.S. Embassy tie-in that somebody had been, like, cyber attacked, but, like, in their personal whatever. So I said I myself had suffered from it. The father of one of the children that Anthony sometimes plays with, that he's known since kindergarten. He said 2016. I sometimes have trouble with the years in the whatever, the sequencing of things.
You seen his phone?
No, Sophia was there. And then I did mention the word that I learned somewhere along the way of Posh, Posh. This is as posh as I get at the moment, because I'm stuck in this situation. I found it! Ah! Close the door! There's no privacy in a panic room. Port side out, starboard home. I do not do celebrity stalking. In fact, it's been quite the opposite. In a he says, she say. And Linda found something on TV called Inventing Anna, which has in its Manhattan office on TV producer land a picture of the girl with the pearl earrings sipping out of a soda glass with a straw on the wall, as they speak of whatever they speak of about this Anna woman in Rikers Island in some really scary sounding situation, and then some reporter who needs a story, and there's some parallel in the humans are broken. So then they were well, I don't know, he calls himself George, I think. So he calls him, so I said, his son was on the swing, my son was on the swing, and the other little boy was there that my son normally plays with, and he says to my son, my son was talking, it was looking at this boy Costa, and he was speaking really fast, like whatever, I guess rapping, whatever. So Brendan says to my son, he goes, "You sound like, look out, Eminem." I lost it. I thought it was so hilarious. I go, "You're now my new favorite on the playground today." Although I'm not supposed to have favorites, but whatever. So then they're all talking and gibberishing, and I'm just sitting there quietly in observance of my son. And then my son says to his friends, he like recites a whole list of basketball players. And I was like, "Where did you learn that?" He goes, "Don't you worry, woman." I was like, "Now that's interesting." So I look at a father to the left that was pushing his son to the left of me, and I said, I don't know if it's divine wisdom. Like, do the boys come preset with the names of the basketball players? I was like, I don't know. I was like, because I don't watch basketball. I was like, and I have no idea where he learned them. He couldn't have even learned them at home, for sure, because I live with him full time. I was like, for me, I mean, it's complete bewilderment where a whole list of basketball players just came out of nowhere. My son just seemed to know them. I thought that was interesting and odd. So anyway, so he finished playing after school with whatever in there, whatever, and then I walked back home, and there was somebody smoking a cigar, which I said to Anthony as we walked. I said, "You smell that?" I said, "That's what a cigar smells like." I said, "It's different than some other things that that look like cigars." I was like, "So just know that's what a real cigar smells like," since it was a reference. And I've been making him, walk like this with me, because he doesn't want to hold hands anymore. I guess he's getting too old, so we walked, whatever that's called. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxies, Broken, Spacelight Station, based on New York 11261. And I mentioned to both Sophia and the Nets fan, I had to find out. I said, "Are Nets part of the NBA?" I was like, "Is that a separate league?" He said, "No, they're part. It's like that whole thing." I'm like, "Is that like a Jets Giants thing?" He's like, "Yeah," and then we both said, Yankees, Mets, and I'm like, "Right, okay, got it." So Knicks, Nets, got it. Then he gave me a brief history of they were in Jersey, they moved to New York. I had not known that either. And then he said, I have to think about this. And for me, I think I went to one boating lesson that I was invited to because I think it was a birthday party for one of the brief friendships that I had, BRIEF. And I went to this birthday party. They had some small, they called it a sun something. I don't even remember the name of it. It's some small boat that you learn on. I went for one at the one birthday party. I really did not know. But I guess it was more of one of those tests when I was younger to see what I was exposed to. If somebody was teaching me something, I don't know. But that was the only time I was on a boat in my youth, living inside or going to school at Lloyd Harbor, but living in Cold Spring Harbor. I think that's where the Posh word was most pertinent. Today's February 17th, 2022.